Gentlemen, we are live. Bills versus Chiefs. Adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Big game day. Patriots won, so Bills have to stay within striking distance. Let me know your score predictions in the chat below. Going to be a good game. Going to be a fun game as always against the Chiefs. Bragging rights on the line. Both teams really need this win to hang in their division. Like they're doing the coin flip right now. But welcome in. Gonna have a banger game. 5-3 Chiefs against the 5-2 Bills. Sold out crowd. Jim Nance, Tony Romo on the call. Gonna be a very fun game. Some key moments of this game. It's all gonna come down to, can this Bills defense get stops? And can the Bills receivers find separation? Something they haven't been able to do all season long. As far as the Bills' run game, it's been far from their biggest problem. They got to get that continuously going throughout the remainder of the season if they want a chance at the Super Bowl. Looking at the Chiefs, no Isaiah Pacheco. That'll leave Kareem Hunt as their starting running back. And then we know that they have a plethora of mid-tier receivers who have, all come together and formed a wide receiver group that continuously plays good. Whether it's, two guys, three guys, they're going to have guys that get hot and they're going to torch you all game long. And they got Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. So we know it's going to be a challenging game for the Bills. Chiefs are certainly going to have a good chance in this game to beat the Bills, but we will see. Doing a Mahomes interview right now on the field. This one feels a little bit different than years prior, right? There's a little bit more on the line, but both franchises going into this game a little bit down on themselves as opposed to years prior where they're the clear cut 1 and 2. I think the Bills are probably in a worse spot right now, even though they have one less loss. The Chiefs have certainly been the better team in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. Bills will get the ball first. Harrison Butker will kick off. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Potential game of the year yet again. We are underway. Butker kicks off. Be taken there by Ray Davis, I believe, on the return, and he's going to squeak forward to the 35-yard line. But there is a flag on the play. Carl Sheffer's the referee. Holding on the return team. So that'll negate the great starting field position Ray Davis was able to get, but a good sign that the Bills are going to experiment with returners today, and they're hoping to get a wide receiver that can serve as a returner at the trade deadline, which is Tuesday. But until then, they're going to have to try to find something that works in this game. 1st and 10, the Bills all the way back now at their own 16-yard line. Terrible starting field position. Allen, they're going to try a wide receiver screen to Shakir, and he spins out of a tackle, but not much there. Maybe a gain of 3 near the 20-yard line. So it looks like the Bills are going to continue to run their patented couple plays, run up the middle, maybe a toss, and then the wide receiver screen. 2nd and 7 from the 20. Kincaid in motion. Allen looks to throw. He's going to throw a slant to Kincaid, incomplete. Or not to Kincaid, to Coleman, but there is a flag. I think it's going to be a penalty against the Chiefs, pass interference. And it sure is. That one on Watson. Automatic first down. Jalen Watson on the PI. They're cutting to the Bengals game. The Bengals somehow, someway are up by 1. We'll see if the Bears can go down and win that game with a field goal. But what a back and forth game we had there. 1st and 10 now from the 25. Allen with Samuel in motion. It's going to be a toss up top to Cook. Cook tries to find a hole. And maybe a gain of 4 to the 29. And James Cook is going to be getting the ball quite a bit this game. Second and 6 now for this Bills offense. They're going to try to methodically move the ball down the field, whereas the Chiefs, I think, are going to take a more direct approach. 2nd and 6. Shakir in motion up top. It's going to be play action. Cook with a nice block. It's going to be a wide open throw to Shakir. Gets the ball and he dives forward for the first down and more. Gain of 7 on the play, and that'll move the chains. Bills first down. First and 10. Allen hands it off to Cook, up the middle, makes a move, and he's forward for around a gain of 7. You'll certainly take that if you're the Bills. Gain of 7 up the middle. Another game update for you. Broncos game-winning field goal against the Texans. That'll move them to 7-2. But Denver certainly hasn't looked dominant this year. A lot of those wins have been close games. 2nd and 3. Allen takes the snap. It's going to be another handoff. Cook up the middle. He goes around the outside. He's got a whole lot of room, and he's out of bounds at the 39-yard line. James Cook didn't see anything up the middle and decided to take that one outside, near side. Good blocking by Shakir and Shavers around the edge. And the Bills in Chiefs territory for the first time today. Good stiff arm on McDuffie as well from Cook. So 1st and 10 from the 39. Allen. It's going to be a quick wide receiver screen to Shakir, and Shakir tries to bounce it out wide. Unable to do so. It's only going to be a gain of 1. So you can tell the Bills have accepted that they do not have downfield weapons this year, and they are going to commit to these short little checkdowns, and they run plays with James Cook, and I can't blame them because they just don't have the receivers. They don't have the talent to do it this year out wide. So they're going to have to do it this way, and so far this game it's been working. They gave Shakir 2 on that play. It's going to be a 2nd and 8. Allen hands it off to Cook. Cook up the middle. Oh, and he gets absolutely crushed on the play sandwich, but he pops right back up. And he's smiling that one off, so luckily avoided an injury there. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now for the Bills. First 3rd down of the day. We'll see if the Bills can convert. James Cook runs off the field. 3rd down, he's not going to be out there. They'll have Ty Johnson in the backfield to block. Joe Brady, his rushing offense first, passing 15th, though, and that's where he's going to be criticized. Josh Allen having a mid-tier passing game. The Chiefs sending in a little bit of pressure. They're going to swing it out wide to Ty Johnson. He finds a hole and more. To the 25, he gets wrapped up for the first down. Ty Johnson, and another almost immediate throw out of Josh Allen's hand, and that's going to be the story all day long, I think. Good blocking by the Bills receivers again. Coleman and Shakir doing a great job downfield to open up enough space for Ty Johnson to find the first down. First and 10 from the 25 of the Chiefs. Reggie Gilliam in there, heavy run formation. Shavers outside. Allen takes the snap. It's going to be a toss up top again. Chiefs knew where that was coming. That one gets wrapped down at the 30. Loss of 5 on the play. The Chiefs saw that one the whole way. Good tackle by Nick Bolton. So they called forward progress for a loss of 3. It'll be second and 13. And now the Bills might be forced to throw it. And wow, Chicago takes the lead again on Cincinnati. That's a crazy game. Allen, he's going to throw. Good blocking so far over the middle. It's Curtis Samuel. A short gain for him will bring up third and long. It's going to be around a 3rd and 8. Oh, they're showing that highlight from the Bears game. Loveland, incredible. That helps the Bills out. The farther Cincinnati gets away from us, the better. Cincinnati has us figured out for sure. Another team that has had us figured out historically is the Chiefs. And that's who we're playing today. 3rd and 8. Ray Davis in. He's going to try to block, and Allen's going to go end zone. It is caught! Wide open is Dalton Kincaid for the touchdown. Whoever was guarding him slipped down. Allen found him in the end zone, and Dalton Kincaid gets the party started in Orchard Park. What a start. Extra point, snap, hold, kick, up, and good. And the Bills go up by a score 7-0 with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bills made it look easy. It was Drew Tranquil who fell down in the coverage. Great start for the Bills offense. Allen finished it off with a spike in the end zone, but now it's time to see what the Chiefs offense can do. Bills are blasting the shout song, as always, following a touchdown as the kicking unit comes out to boot the ball to the Chiefs for the first time today. That drive, 11 plays, 84 yards, 7 minutes. Half the quarter taken off. That's exactly what Sean McDermott dialed up this week. This is exactly the kind of offense he wants to play. And I can't imagine we see that kind of dominance from the Bills offense the rest of the day with Steve Spagnuolo running that Chiefs defense, but you never know. Prater lines up the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 3. And Thornton going to get taken down at the 33-yard line. Not a bad return from Thornton, but if you're the Bills, you'll take anything behind the 35 on those kickoffs. So Patrick Mahomes, he has 3 passing touchdowns in 3 straight games. That's the first time he's done that since 2021. You could certainly say the Chiefs are looking the best they have in a while following that last season disaster where they got blown out in the Super Bowl. First and 10. Crowd is loud. They're amped up. going to be a handoff to Hunt up the middle, and Greg Rousseau gets a hold of him. Only a gain of around 3. Good job by Rousseau getting around the line and getting a grip on Hunt to bring him down. Keep in mind, Pacheco out with injury. So here we go. 2nd and 7. Mahomes takes it. He's got to throw. Looking over the middle of the field and dropped. Hollywood Brown. Cam Lewis on the coverage looked like he fell down, and Hollywood Brown unable to one-hand it. So it'll be 3rd and 7. First third down of the day for the Chiefs. And the Bears have beat the Bengals, confirmed. What a game over there in Cincinnati. 3rd and 7 here in Orchard Park. How's it going, Victor? How's it going, KM? Slade, how's it going? Flippin' Master. 3rd and 7. They run out of time in the play clock. Down to 1. They just get it off. Bills send one extra guy. Mahomes to the sideline. Overthrows this guy. Incomplete. And the Bills get a 3 and out on their first defensive stand. Forced to throw from Mahomes there. Good job by Dorian Williams up the middle. And good coverage downfield to make Mahomes double think about putting that ball anywhere near the tripled cover receiver. He threw that one right out of bounds. So the punt god, Matt Ariza, will be kicking this one back to the Bills. We know the story with him. We've already gone over it. We're not gonna harp on that. His punt, a short one, fielded at the 25 by Shakir, and he's taken down at the 30. We got some pushing and shoving afterwards. Joe Andreessen involved. Nothing comes out of that one, and we'll head to our first commercial break of the day. Bills, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Yep, that's the Ariza we drafted, and we're actually not going to go to commercial break. I guess we're staying here. Defense trending up for sure. Yeah, Victor, that game was nuts. Sabres might be the king of the city. I mean, we'll see what they do this week, but they've hung in there for the first time in a long time. From the 30, Cook in the backfield, Gilliam, and let's see if it's that little pitch play. It's the same formation. Nope, just going to be a run up the middle. Good blocking, and Cook finds a hole, 9-yard gain up the middle. So the Bills are saying we got the best running game in the league, and we're going to use it today. Second and 2. You tend to think, though, with all these run plays, eventually they gotta get the play action and send one really deep. But I guess they're not going to do that until this running fails them. And they're going to run it again. Gilliam leading the block, and Cook gets free all the way to the 45. Gilliam pumped up after the play. He's getting used a whole lot this season in the run game. And James Cook gives the Bills another first down. Yeah, KM, the Colts losing definitely help us out. Yeah, Victor, great point. Exactly. If you could establish the run game, the pass game should open up, kind of like I was saying there before I even saw your chat. Exactly what they need to do. Good point. 1st and 10 from the 45 of their own. The Bills, Shakir in motion. This one is going to be a throw. Oh, and that one's dropped by Hawes. Hawes was open for about a 4 to 5 yard button hook up the middle, but it went right through his hands. Allen probably put a little bit too much on it. No one was really near him. That was one of those plays where you lob it in there and just let him fall to the ground, but thrown a little bit too hard to a 3rd string tight end. Again, you're an NFL player, though. You should catch that. Don't love it, but we'll shake it off here. 2nd and 10, still at the 45. See if they give it back to Cook to try to make it a 3rd and manageable. I guess not, because Ty Johnson's in the backfield. And they're going to fake the wide receiver screen. They're going to do a Running back screen to the other side to Ty Johnson. That's only going to get him 3 yards. Dana on the tackle for the Chiefs. He was all over that one. Somebody missed a block up top. Ty Johnson still able to get a few yards off of it. So we'll have a 3rd and 7. This will force the Bills to throw it a little bit downfield, which is certainly in the advantage of the Chiefs. They know it's not going to be a run play. They can drop off a little bit or send some pressure. Either way, not expecting the run. Ty Johnson in there to block. Allen, pump faking, trying to draw him off sides. Not going to happen. Now he'll take the snap. Good blocking. Allen over the middle to Kincaid, and he stumbles forward. He's going to be 2 yards short of the first down, and now the Bills kind of in the middle of nowhere. I would at least go up there and try to draw him off sides. Got to get a play in quick, though. The last thing you want to do is decide too late you're going to go for it and have to burn a timeout. Right now, they're keeping the offense out there. 4th and 2. 20 seconds left on the play clock. They'll have plenty of time. They're just going to run it quick. Allen to throw. He doesn't see anything open. Still doesn't. Now he goes over the top, and it is incomplete. Cook, not James Cook, the Chiefs' Cook, broke up the pass intended for Shakir. And that's another play where you question Joe Brady on a 4th and short. Just kind of a random play where nobody gets open, and Allen sits back there and waits, and no one gets open. A frustrating one, and that's going to give the Chiefs the ball right at midfield. I agree going for it there, though. You don't want to give the ball back to Mahomes because chances are he's going to be at midfield within 3 plays anyway. Yeah, the fact that nobody's on a route there near the sticks is just, it basically sums up Joe Brady perfectly. Like, when there's an easy answer, he doesn't take it. And you see teams do this all the time. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. They have a running back in the flat, maybe a tight end in the flat too. You got 2 choices there. Usually one of them's wide open. It's not going to be a gain of 10. It's not going to be a touchdown, but it'll give you the first down. Instead, the Bills just kind of call a random play out of the playbook, like they close their eyes and pick one, and it didn't work out. Yeah, and we see Kansas City run that play all the time. Good point, Smooth Gaming. How many times have we seen that at the end of games where it's like 4th and 1, and you're like, oh, maybe they might run this, and they do that little play action, and somebody's wide open up top. That's okay though. Defense will need another stop. That's okay. Now we're at commercial. I uh I agree with the initial call to go for it though, so I'm not going to get too mad about it. Hindsight's 2020. Of course, if Shakir is able to catch that, it's not even a talking point on a bad play call. But it just seems like this season it's really stacking up. Bad play call after bad play call, making Joe Brady look worse than he actually is. Yeah, you have 7 points to play with anyway. That is true, but you did get the ball first. But yeah, end of story. I agree with it. I'm not gonna harp on it too much. So now the Chiefs have it right around midfield. Kareem Hunt in the backfield. The last drive, the Chiefs tried to run it right up the middle. See if they try that again. Nope, it's going to be play action, and the Bills can't get through it all. Throw over the middle, wide open is Rashee Rice, and he'll go out of bounds around the 33-yard line. Big chunk play, first one for the Chiefs. And, like, the Chiefs are a perfect example of great offensive play calling. Look at these routes downfield, right? You're crisscrossing, bumping and running. The Bills do none of that on offense. Elite minds behind the Chiefs' offensive play calling. Mahomes on 1st and 10. It's going to be an out wide throw. Xavier Worthy bounces through a tackle. It's going to be a gain of 7. Would have been a gain of 5, but he bumped through a tackle and got the extra 2. Good job by the Bills defense to recover after that missed tackle, but a similar trend in the McDermott era has been the Bills' ability to tackle. They have not been able to get the guy in open field. And there's just another example. And that's Xavier Worthy. That's one of the smallest receivers in the league, bouncing off of tackles. You get an excuse against powerhouse running backs like Derrick Henry. But when you're facing little wide receivers like that and you're unable to tackle them, that's not great. 2nd and 3. It's going to be a handoff to Rice. And he'll get pushed out of bounds short of the line to gain. See, it's right by the mark. They might actually call that a first down. I think they're going to call it short. It's a 3rd and inches. Rashee Rice not too happy about that, but now they switched it to a first down. Okay. First and 10 at the 24. Mahomes takes a snap, looks, he's in trouble, and down he goes right at the line of scrimmage. A group sack, but there is a flag, and it's in the secondary, so it'll be a defensive hold. So a wasted effort by the defensive line. It's going to be on Cole Bishop. So only a 5-yard penalty, but it does give the Chiefs an automatic first down. Penalty drawn by Rashee Rice. We're going to take a look at it, and okay, they're showing 2 holds. I don't know about the one on Cole Bishop. I think they might have called that one on the wrong player on the Bills. Because if that was the penalty on Cole Bishop, he didn't do too much, but it's the Chiefs. We should expect some nonsense. All the way at the 18 now. Handoff. It's going to be Smith, and he goes around the outside for around 4. The 2nd-round pick out of SMU near Dallas. 2nd and 6 approaching with 1:30 to go in the first. Yeah, people ask me all the time, especially like on Instagram and the DMs about like the NFL rigging games for the Chiefs and all that, and I tend to avoid that subject, but the Chiefs do get quite a few penalties that are ticky-tacky, and it makes you wonder. 2nd and 6 at the 15. Gonna be another handoff to Hunt, and there is a Bills lineman that was absolutely taken down on the play. They don't call it a hold, and it's going to be a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. I think it might have been a blitzing Cam Lewis, and he was just slugged to the ground around the edge. Referees did not see it. 3rd and 1. And this is where we're probably going to see that play I was talking about, where they do a little play action and throw it out wide. They do have Kareem Hunt, so you could just run up the middle. Kelsey in motion. They just hand it off to Hunt, and he's going to have it and more. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. That'll end the first quarter. So it's a pretty quick first quarter. Bills up 7-0, but Kansas City maybe a play or two away from tying at the score. So far, our I guess keys to the game that I said pregame. I guess we can kind of go over them right now at the end of the first. See how they stacked up. Bills run defense so far hasn't been bad. Again, it's Kareem Hunt. He's a power running back. If you let him have any gains over like 8 to 10 yards, that's where I'm going to draw the line. So far so good with him. The pass defense has been good. There was that one downfield play to Rice where Poyer kind of got rubbed off. And then the offensive play calling, and it's been kind of 50-50, right? First drive was good, and second drive, They kind of outsmarted themselves. Probably should have just kept the ball on the ground or did that play action swing route on 4th and 2. But all things considered, the way the Chiefs have been playing recently, that's not a bad first quarter. And take into account how badly the Bills have looked in recent times, I think if I polled everyone before the game and said, "Would you be okay with the score being 7-0 Chiefs in the red zone at the end of the first?" I think everyone would say yes. So we will take that first quarter. How's it going, Sawyer? Victor says defense is soft, and that's just the identity, right? They play bend but don't break, sit back. You know, we'll let you have yards. We're not going to let you have the 50-yard plays though. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But not a bad start for the Bills. I think as Bills fans, we've grown accustomed to scoring every drive, and that's just an unrealistic goal. I see so many people that complain about each and every drive, and I'm probably part of the problem in that situation. But you can't expect the Bills to put up 50 points a game, especially with the wide receiver group they have this season. It's just not going to happen. The defense, sure, should they be better this season with the weapons they have? Yes. And they haven't been able to do so, and the secondary has let us down, but more so the defensive line. That's supposed to kind of be the saving grace on this team. They haven't really gotten through, haven't gotten the sack numbers, and they've gotten a whole lot of pressure, but they haven't been able to finish the job, which, again, a recurring theme under McDermott. Getting pressure, but not getting sacks, not getting tackle for losses. And we know their run defense, like 40% of the time, it's a tackle for loss, but the other 60%, it's a big gain. 1st and goal from the 3. We're back. It's going to be Rashee Rice in the Wildcat, and he's into the end zone. That's about as easy as it's going to get. Rashee Rice. Shout out James Droz. And the Chiefs tie the game 4 seconds into the first. Little Wildcat, and Poyer just gets manhandled on his block by Juju Smith-Schuster, of all people. So now Harrison Butker with the extra point. Seen some missed extra points today, so we'll see if the trend continues. Butker, kick is up and good, and we got ourselves a tie game. All right. So right back to commercial, but so the defense 1 for 2 today. That drive they started at midfield, so I don't know if anyone expected them to get a stop there. You're putting some unrealistic expectations on the defense. It's okay. Basically restarting the game. So we've made this game into a 3-quarter game now. Restart it, kick off to the Bills, and here we go. Everything cancels itself out. It is frustrating though. Just a few minutes ago, the Bills had the ball at the 50, up 7-0. They would have got that 4th down, potentially up 2 scores at this moment. But the Chiefs able to take advantage of a bad play call, and they marched right down on the Bills defense. Rashee Rice with that touchdown, he continues his hot streak. He has been one of the most electrifying wide receivers in the game since coming back from his suspension. And as much as, you may hate the Chiefs, if you guys are watching this stream, you got to admire their offensive play calling. It is something new every game. They switch it up. Sure, do they go back to some bread and butter plays once in a while? Yes, but you can tell the amount of effort, time, and intelligence they have on the offensive side of the ball. And it's something that we would really like to see with the Bills that we haven't in a long time. Waiting for Juju to pick a fight with someone. This game could very well get chippy. I know it's just a regular season game, but a whole lot on the line. The loser of this game with a Jacksonville win is out of a playoff spot. The winner one step closer to getting back in the race for their division, and one step closer to the 1 seed. It's all congested in the AFC right now, and a loss would certainly set either of these teams back quite a ways. And a win would kind of give them the freedom of another loss down the season. And I see a lot of people kind of going nuts about winning the division, blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, I mean, the Bills have won the division the last, what, 5 years? And it hasn't really helped them out, has it? I mean, they haven't won a Super Bowl yet, and they haven't had the one seed. So if the Patriots do end up getting the AFC East and the Bills still make the playoffs, to me, it's the same thing. I know people want that home game. I get it, but five years winning the division and it hasn't gotten you anywhere. So kickoff to Ray Davis. He's going to take this one out. Gets to the 20 and he goes across the 30. Maybe down at the 31. So decent return, not great for Ray Davis, but the Bills will have a good starting field position as opposed to their first possession of the game where they had a penalty that set them back. So let's see if the Bills try to slow it down a little bit, keep the ball on the ground. It's kind of been their identity this year and Sean McDermott's identity as a coach. And sure enough, they do a run right up the middle, tackled gain of 1. And that is exactly what I'm talking about with the lack of creativity on this offense. If you're the Chiefs, you know a run up the middle is going there. You absolutely know, right? Like as an offensive coordinator, you have to say, what would I be thinking if I was defensive coordinator and do something a little bit different? I'm not saying do the complete opposite. Don't throw a Hail Mary there, but do something a little bit different. Let's not run it right up the middle to try to slow down the game when they know you're going to try to do that. Now the Chiefs send pressure. Allen slant to Coleman, and he's so easily tackled. Maybe a gain of 6. 3rd and 3 now. So good job by Coleman getting open on that blitz, slanting a little bit earlier than probably intended. Good job by Coleman, but unable to break a tackle. Just good tackling there by the Chiefs secondary. I mean, it looked like he went down just so easy. They're saying Cook's a little bit tight, so they're gonna keep stretching his leg out on the sideline, but he's fine. 3rd and 3. Allen looking downfield. Nobody can get open. He's got to scramble, and down he goes. A loss of 1, and the Bills left a punt, and here we go again. Allen, so much time in the backfield, still cannot find anyone open. And Allen takes another big hit. Karlaftis on the play. So now Wisnowski on the punt. That punt hanging way in the air. Finally caught at the 15, and good special teams down at the 20. We got some pushing and shoving. Sam Franklin, part of it for the Bills. Nothing comes out of that one, and the Chiefs will have the ball 1st and 10. So the Bills go 3 and out, and as expected, run 2 very safe play calls. Oh. And they call a face mask penalty on the Bills, so that'll add 10 to 15 yards on Ty Johnson. An absolute bonehead penalty to take there, and now the Chiefs will actually have good starting field position. Yeah, Victor, Gabe Davis, not healthy enough to play, so that wasn't a team decision by any means. I mean, he hasn't touched a football, hasn't played football in over a year. So keep that in mind. He's going to need at least a week in practice to play. So he was marked unavailable today. It's not like the team said, we don't need you. But certainly some questionable play calling from the Bills so far in this game. Now the Bills defense will have to get another stop. You don't want to go down this early in the game to the Chiefs with them getting the ball at halftime. Yeah, I don't think the Cook thing's anything major. I think he's just a little bit sore, and they don't want to push him. But if James Cook has limited reps today, you're going to have to start throwing the ball down the field. You're going to have to use your speedy receivers, which is something not only have they not schemed for all season long, but they haven't had any success all season long. And I don't know what the plan is here the rest of the way on offense, because the Chiefs saw your run game, and if you go down by a score after this drive, they're not going to let you run it. They're gonna make you throw it. You're going to have to throw it, and this team has not been able to throw the ball with success for the majority of this season. There have been little stints. There's a little bit against the Jets where they got it going, a little bit against the Dolphins, the end to that Ravens game. But for a majority of the season so far, the Bills' offense has been stagnant in the pass game. The weather in this game is a good day to pass it, though. It's not super cold out, around 48, 49 degrees. Wind, but between 4 and 7 miles an hour. I think 7 right now, but they'll go down throughout the night. Chiefs at the 36 after that penalty. Just ridiculous. It's going to be play action. Mahomes in trouble. Down he goes. Christian Benford gets the sack. Mahomes down at the 30. Big time sack from the cornerback, Christian Benford. And Mahomes tried his best to find a magic way out of that one, but wasn't doing. So now 2nd and 16 for the Chiefs. Bills showing a little bit of pressure. They're going to send an extra guy. Throw over the middle of the field. Wide open is Rashee Rice, and down over midfield at the 47. Too easy for the Chiefs. And Cam Lewis on the coverage, zone coverage. Jamarcus Ingram started on him, and nobody picked him up in the middle of the field. It's just too easy. I mean, Rashee Rice is at midfield within 2 seconds of the snap. You cannot let a guy get that much grass. And the Bills defense, they just continue to do it. And it's not talent. It is by scheme. That is what they're giving up. So that sack means nothing. And now Hunt down the field on a run. Gain of 12. Another first down for the Chiefs. And here we go. And great blocking there. Joey Bosa going around the corner instead of staying inside. And that opened the hole up. 1st and 10. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his first carry of the game, tackled for a loss. Joey Bosa on the tackle. Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the practice squad. They said they just called him up before the game. Big time tackle from Joey Bosa. Avoided hands to the face. That probably could have been a penalty on the Chiefs. Wasn't called. But it's probably not going to matter, because the first time we had a 6-yard loss on this drive, and the very next play somebody was open 20 yards down the field, that being Rashee Rice. Now it's 2nd and 12 at the 35. Mahomes has all day to throw it. Bosa almost got to him, and it's overthrown. Incomplete, intended for Noah Gray. 3rd and 12. All right, here we go. Can the Bills defense stop a 3rd and 12? How's it going, Elijah? Third and 12 for the Bills defense. Can they get a stop? The Chiefs usually get these so effortlessly. They just find one of their many receivers or tight ends downfield. Bills have some contain. They're going to throw it towards the sidelines. And it is, they say caught, but 4 yards short of the first down. Worthy, nice catch along the sidelines. But that was an interesting play call by the Chiefs, kind of just to make it into field goal range. So now Harrison Bucker will have an upper 40s kick. Good stop by the Bills defense. Sure. 46-yard attempt. Now, Bucker has struggled this year. 12 for 15. He's been better as of late. But 46 yards, no wind, a little bit cold. And we got pre-snap whistle. Let's see. Are they going to review this? The Bills called timeout. This one makes you wonder. The Bills call a timeout. I don't think they're going to look at the play if it was complete or not. So I don't know. Again, this is what drives me nuts about Sean McDermott. In what world do you waste a timeout? I get it's the first half, but on a defensive field goal, trying to ice them, I don't understand it at all. 46-yard field goal. Here we go. Snap, hold, kick up, and right down the middle. Harrison Bucker puts the Chiefs up 3. Yeah, if it was playoffs, you'd be tagged. I don't understand that timeout call whatsoever. I mean, sure enough, we'll see at the end of the half, the Bills have the ball probably down 14 at that point, needing a score, and they're going to have only 2 timeouts instead of 3, and it's probably going to cost them. Just a bonehead. I don't care if you got 3 guys out there for a field goal coverage. I mean, there's no reason to call a timeout. I really don't get it. And that's where Sean McDermott outsmarts himself, right? He's a defensive guy. Anytime the other team has the ball, he's over analyzing out there, and he wastes so many defensive timeouts that end up not really affecting the game whatsoever, right? Oh, we're in the wrong formation on a 1st and 30 in the second quarter, and he wastes a timeout. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cannot happen. Shout out Elijah in the chat too. I saw it the other night. I wasn't streaming, but Don was. Massive donations from Elijah. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you to our members in here too. Sawyer, Elijah in here. I know we got some other ones that aren't in here right now, but shout out you guys. W's in the chat. As you guys know, never have to donate. Don't feel obligated to donate, but thank you guys so much. And some absolutely massive ones from Elijah the other night. And I haven't been on to thank you for that, but I appreciate it, and that'll certainly help us out. Now the Bills' offense will have to at least get a field goal here to match it up. Just I don't understand the timeout call though. Yes, Sawyer, I did, and I'm not gonna lie, I found myself very conflicted in that series. I've kind of was okay with either team winning, um, and that was probably the best game of baseball that wasn't a Mets game, where I didn't really have a horse in the race, I guess you could say. That was probably the best game of baseball I've ever watched, um, and that World Series might have been the best World Series just from both sides in a very long time. Bucker kickoff, fielded by Ray Davis. He's going to take it again. And he's consistent. Another one to the 31. And some more pushing and shoving after the play. These special teamers are getting a little bit feisty early on in this game. Yeah, Victor, you think Allen's gonna scramble for some yards? I think the issue with Allen scrambling this year is he's taking a little bit too long to make that decision. And when he does decide to scramble, it's too late. They're kind of, the league knows he wants to scramble. And until he gets receivers that are an actual threat downfield, I don't think he's going to have room to scramble, right? They're going to keep that one guy down. Now play action on first down. There we go. Allen looks deep, and he's going to have to scramble again. He does the flick play. What a throw to Jackson Hawes right at the 50-yard line. Oh, wow. And there's the line from Jim Nantz that you knew was coming, whether it's Jim Nantz, Chris Collinsworth, Ian Eagle, or Barack Obama on the call. They're going to say, that's a Mahomes-type throw. And sure enough, they said it. But you know Josh Allen likes to get one or two of those flip passes in every time he plays the Chiefs. There was one of them. Now another play action play. Allen's got time, throws it to Shavers. Nice little play call there. Shavers, tabletop tackled. He pops right back up, gain of 6. There we go. There's a little creativity, right? It took a couple drives, but there we go. Bill's right down the field. And Tyrell Shavers, who has predominantly been a blocking wide receiver this season, gets involved in the pass game, a little block and release. Second and 3. It's going to be a handoff to Cook, and a nice juke move there. Another one gets free. Another one around the edge. Gain of 7, but there is a flag, and it's going to be an offensive hold, so all for nothing. It's something you can't do. That one on Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox can't believe it. That's a drive stopper. These stupid penalties they take. The more you run it, the more chance of an offensive hold. Oh, my. Another terrible call, and here we go again. The Chiefs, another phantom penalty. Wow. Wow, that is an atrocious call. Second and 13. Oh, fear the Bills. Got to get half of it here. Allen in the pocket. He's got all day to throw. Can somebody get open for him? Over the middle, wide open. Dalton Kincaid around the edge to the 20, to the 10, barrels forward to the 6. No flag there. And the Bills pick up that last flag, chuck it 30 yards down the field into the crowd. And Dalton Kincaid, the catalyst on that play. All the way at the 8 now. First and goal. Samuel in motion. Ty Johnson gonna take a handoff up the middle, stumbles and bumbles forward to the 3. Decent play there. No huddle. Bills moving quick. Don't want a false start here, but I do like the hurry up. Second and goal. Going to be another handoff. Ty Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown. Ty Johnson. Great job by the Bills to notice the Chiefs had a primarily small lineup out there. Didn't let them get any substitutions. Hurry up offense. Handoff into the end zone. And that's Ty Johnson's first touchdown of the season. And buckle your seatbelts, fellas, because we are in for a back and forth game. Good stuff there. Did a little Buffalo leap into the crowd. Prater, extra points. Every point's going to matter this game to make it a 4-point game. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. There we go. Just like that, the Bills back on top. Dalton Kincaid having himself a day. A touchdown and a massive play to put the Bills in the red zone. Dalton Kincaid. It appears he's looking a little healthier, which is good because some people saw him with some ice around his knee, and he has had knee problems in his short career so far. So they saw some ice around his knee last game. It is typical, though. NBA players, a lot of the times after games, will have both legs just sleeved up with a bunch of ice in there. So it's common for professional athletes to kind of numb their legs after games. It's kind of the first step of recovery for some guys. So Kincaid might do that on several occasions throughout the season. So I wouldn't take too much into that, especially now that we're seeing him moving and grooving down the field, the best he's looked all year. Yeah, great fight, Victor. That's what we got to see. That's what we want to see. So great start for the Bills. I think I'm gonna turn the light on here. That should light it up a little bit more on the stream. Yeah, UB Bulls got a win. Yeah, huge win against Bowling Green. We'll certainly take that. Um, Not a whole lot of passing yards in that game, but the UB Bulls defense comes up big. Red Murdoch, probably the best defensive player the Bulls have had since Khalil Mack. And they're showing the new Bills Stadium, which is going to be something we see every week, I think, going forward until the Bills actually play a game in the stadium. The turf is down, the field goal posts are up, the seats are in. Only a matter of time before that thing is open for business. But until then, across the street, the old stadium will be used. Kickoff. Thornton, big return around the edge. Gets to the 40, and that's where he'll be tackled. No flag. Looked like we could have had holding on that, but no flag. And they are saying that the AFC West plays the AFC East next season. So the Chiefs will be in Buffalo next season for seems like our annual tradition playing them. And that's kind of how it goes, right? When you win the division for so many years in a row, you're going to play the other good teams. That's how the NFL scheduling works. And it tends to, try to cycle division leaders up. So, hey, if the Bills don't win the division, that there's a perk for next year, right? Maybe an easier schedule. Handoff, Hunt up the middle, and barrels forward for a gain of 6. Reginald, how's it going? Super drive by the Bills. Yeah, exactly what you want to see. Right before the halftime, Brock Bowers, a one-handed touchdown catch for the Raiders. Nice. Yeah, that very well could be our week 1 game next year. Chiefs, Bills in the new stadium. You got to imagine the Bills are home for the first week next season. Hopefully it's banner raising, but probably not. There's a throw. Greger so tries to make a tackle, but can't. Rashee Rice gain a 5 around the edge. Will be enough for a first down. So the Chiefs, just like that, right in Bills territory after a good kick return. First and 10 for the Chiefs. Whole playbook wide open on this play, of course. Mahomes takes the snap. Bills defense trying to get through. Now they do. Mahomes in trouble. And he's going to have to throw it away. Good coverage. And the Bills defensive line was eventually able to get to Mahomes and force the throwaway. Oh boy. And Rousseau hit him a little bit after the play, and Mahomes flopped out of bounds. No penalty, of course, but Mahomes still doing the little flop out of bounds. Little things like that make players unlikable. Allen's been known to do that as well, though, so can't speak too much. Edwards-Helaire up the middle, and he barrels forward for a gain of 6. So that maybe a drive-saving run right there makes it third and very manageable. Yeah, Victor, exactly. We watched this Chiefs offense. It's just a little bit more creative, or a lot more creative, but they do have a little bit more talent on their offense in the pass game. Hopefully, we can maybe say that they're similar in the pass game after the trade deadline on Tuesday. Whole lot of guys on the trade block at the wide receiver position. Brandon Bean knows he has to get at least one. Mahomes to throw. It's going to be a quick throw, and there's a flag. Oh, incomplete. Cole Bishop blew it up. What's the flag? They're going to call, I think, an offensive false start or illegal formation. Oh boy, now the refs are talking. There is a flag. Let's see what it is. Legal formation on the offense. Penalty is going to be declined, and it'll be 4th down. Good stop by the Bills. And a questionable decision by the Chiefs there. A quick throw, maybe too quick. But the Chiefs are going to go for it on 4th and 3. So here is a perfect example of what we were talking about. The Bills offense, they didn't have a play set for this, and they just went for it. Now we'll watch the Chiefs. This is one of the most creative, greatest mind offenses. They hurry up to the line. What play are they going to run? And yep, and there's a timeout called, and it'll be McDermott. And now this is a timeout I can get behind. The Bills were scrambling on defense. They wanted to see the formation. That's a good timeout from Sean McDermott. We only got 4 minutes left in the half. But the fact he already called the other one on a field goal attempt makes it a little less acceptable, but we'll take that one. We'll take that timeout. Good timeout by McDermott. The Bills were in all sorts of a mess. And now this timeout gives the Chiefs a decision if they still want to go for it. But if I'm the Chiefs, I'm absolutely going for it. This offense averages much more than 3 yards a play. Yeah, so your Bengals game was nuts. Here we go, 4th and 3. Kelsey in motion. It's going to be a throw. Mahomes, quick pass, deflected. Cole Bishop. What a play by Cole Bishop. And the Bills make a stand. Very similar to the Bills play call. Kind of a button hook under the middle, a little bit better than what the Bills did because it was a quick throw. But Cole Bishop, back-to-back big-time plays. And we're slowly watching this kid, Cole Bishop, get better and better each week. He's still far from a reliable safety, but if he can continue this trend and the speed he has been trending up, I think by the end of the year, we might have a respectable safety, at least one, on this team in Cole Bishop. Man, what a stand by the Bills defense. Now you got to go down, get a touchdown. Go down quick, get a touchdown. You know what the Bills are going to try to do, though. They see the clock at, 4:12, 4:10, and they're going to want to let's slowly march the ball down and maybe get a field goal or have a chance at a touchdown. That's where I disagree with Sean McDermott a little bit. I think you gotta go down, hit the attack button, right? Keep that hurry up offense going, get some points. Your defenses look good so far today. Don't worry about milking the clock because the Chiefs still have all 3 timeouts. They got the 2-minute warning. If you try to milk the clock, what's going to happen is you're going to go 3 and out, and the Chiefs are going to be leading this thing at halftime. You can't do that. NHL 25 have not gotten that yet. I think maybe around Thanksgiving, Sawyer, I'll have that. So I'll try that out though. So we'll see what the Bills are able to do on this drive. The Chiefs are highlighting Dalton Kincaid out there. Yeah, Reginald, exactly. Got to score. I don't care about the clock. The Chiefs are going to be circling Cook, circling Kincaid. If they haven't already, they will at the halftime break. who else can the Bills get involved here? Is this a drive where maybe you throw Ray Davis in there and Ty Johnson and try some different play calls that you haven't seen all season? This might be the time to go with kind of that extra, little scheme, little new formation. And Victor with a big dono, $3. Thank you, Victor. Again, these donos mean a lot. It gets us closer to that donation goal. If you guys don't know how YouTube donations work, you have to reach a certain threshold before they give you the money. So you guys could donate for 3 weeks straight, and sometimes we don't touch that until we reach that goal. So thank you so much. Again, every little cent gets us closer. So thank you so much, Victor. W's in the chat for Victor. And again, thank you for being here, though. You guys don't have to donate, and a lot of you guys in here have already donated multiple times in the past. I appreciate it. First play, James Cook up the middle, 15-yard gain. Reggie Gilliam leading the way. Yeah, Sawyer, I think we got there kind of like a week before that, and then yeah, Elijah, big time. I mean, holy moly, out of nowhere. So yeah, we're there, but it has already reset. Bills now 1st and 10 around the 45. Allen hands it off to Cook. Cook up the middle again. Keep your hands on the ball. 3-yard gain for Cook. And now the Bills, as previously noted, are going to try to drain the clock a little bit. Yeah, Victor. See, I agree, but eventually the Chiefs are gonna change, right? And you gotta time it up perfectly, right? When the Chiefs start focusing on Cook and Kincaid, that's got to be the exact moment you switch it up and go to somebody else. And it's all a mental game in football. And historically, Andy Reid has gotten the better of Sean McDermott at those mental battles. Play clock all the way down to 1. They just get it off. It's going to be a wide receiver screen to Shakir, and he barrels his way forward for a gain of 4. Have a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. But luckily for the Bills, they'll be able to run this down to the 2-minute warning, taking 33 seconds off the clock. Clock 2-1, and we are at the 2-minute warning. When we come back, the Bills will have a 3rd and 3. Yeah, McDermott understands Reid. I mean, Andy Reid, I will say Andy Reid is a much different coach than he was on the Eagles. And having Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill in Kansas City certainly helped him develop his offense even more. And there's been those reports and confirmed that they'd have a meeting. Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid, they would have meetings before the game where they just kind of brainstorm and threw out ideas like, oh, what if we do this crazy play? What if we do, what if we had played, duck, duck, goose in the backfield instead of huddling up and then hurry up and score? And it's stupid stuff like that has put this team into the dynasty category and has made them so successful. And it's just that connectiveness from player to coach. Everybody knows the scheme. And when somebody doesn't know the scheme, it's next man up mentality. And as much as we may not like the Chiefs, it's admirable what they've been able to do with, dominant players, but also not so dominant players, right? How many times do we see them scheme open guys like Noah Gray, like Hollywood Brown, like Juju Smith-Schuster? I mean, every year it seems like this Chiefs team has a couple guys who, if they went anywhere else, they would be no names, but they make a name for themselves in that Andy Reid offense. And when you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes, you're able to do that. You flip the script and you look at the Bills, And you're in the same situation, except the offense creativity is just not there. Right? Instead of Mahomes and veterans, Allen doesn't have that veteran to have the meetings with, right? And I'm not saying Mahomes isn't a veteran, right? Allen and Mahomes are veterans at this point, but Allen doesn't have that partner in crime to go up to Sean McDermott and say, hey, like, what if we try this? To go up to Joe Brady and say, hey, what if we try this? Right? They don't really have that freedom. So that's just my take on it. I know some people may disagree and say, I'm okay with the run game, but I don't know. You got Josh Allen, right? Like this team should be able to throw down the field when they need to, and right now they can't. So win or loss, I don't care how the receivers look. You absolutely need to do that. So they've changed it to a 3rd and 2 now. After 2-minute warning, it's going to be another wide receiver screen to Shakir. Good blocking, drops his head, and he has a half-yard forward past the first down mark. And now we have a stoppage. No, maybe not. Yes, they stopped the clock. Let's see what happened here. I think Kansas City called the timeout, and they did. So Kansas City timeout. Yeah, Victor, the K gun, and that's something that a lot of Bills fans reminisce about, and they want to bring back. Just that hurry-up style offense, sling the ball down the field, and then you got a running back, James Cook. A lot of people compare him to Thurman Thomas. So I'd like to see this Bills offense have a completely different identity going into the second half of the year, and hopefully trade deadline acquisitions can help that out. And if you could get that pass game going and then make the runs more unpredictable and make James Cook that much more of a threat, could be huge. Victor predicting the Allen run into the end zone. It was right around here, maybe a little bit more yards, but that iconic play. Allen's going over top, Scott knocks wide open, out of bounds at the 5. And it's been all tight end and all running back for the Bills today. And a little bit of Shakir. What a throw. That's Allen's probably best throw of the year. As crazy as that is to say, he hasn't had many opportunities. And that one was a perfect throw to Dawson Knox. Fit it perfectly over the defenders, right on target near the sidelines. That's a very hard throw to make. And he made it look easy. Made Knox look wide open, even though he was, a foot or two away from a guy. Now they're going to give it to Cook up the middle. James Cook, and he keeps going forward. He rolls over a guy, and he is called short. And James Cook's throwing a fit right now, telling the Bills to challenge this. Kansas City calls a timeout with 1:30 to go. And if you're the Bills, I guess you're okay with this, right? Make Kansas City call another timeout. Let's see if Cook was down or if they rolled forward progress. It doesn't look like anything touched the ground, and he rolled over. But if they called forward progress, I could understand because he did stop a little bit and then rolled over. Yeah, Victor, that was just insane. Just beast mode on that Allen run. Uh, Alec Anderson now in their reporting is eligible. So that usually means they're just going to try to sneak it up the middle. Dangerous play by Cook, though, laying on a pile. Almost got the ball punched out. Allen under center. Will they tush push it? Gilliam motions behind, and Allen sneaks it in. Oh, I don't know. I think he's short. And he is. He got a half of the inch to get. Now a half inch away from the goal line. 3rd and goal. And maybe they did it on Oh, now they're looking at the replay. Allen says touchdown. I don't know. Here we go. Let's see. Is the ball over? We're looking at the replay. Ah. It looks like he was over, but there's no camera angle that shows the ball over the line. Ah. Yeah. That one looks good, and it has been called a touchdown. So Josh Allen, 47th game with a pass and rushing touchdown. That is a new NFL record. A juggernaut. One of the best in the modern era. Josh Allen has put himself on top of the record books. So Kansas City will still have one timeout. They're still going to have enough time for them to go down. Big extra point again. Prater up and good. 21-10. There we go. Wow. So here we go. I mean, this could be for the game right here, this drive. Kansas City could do what they usually do and march right down the field, get a touchdown, and we go in with Kansas City getting the ball in a one possession game with a chance to take the lead after halftime. We could see a field goal where it ends up being an 8-point game, still one score, but in a better situation for the Bills, with the chance to tie it after halftime. Or we could see the Bills defense pin their ears back and get another hold to make this a 2-possession game going into halftime. Keep in mind the Bills only have one timeout left. So if somehow the Chiefs get sacked or something, the Bills aren't going to be able to get the ball back, right? So it's kind of all up to the Chiefs. The only way the Bills would touch the ball again is if a quick touchdown happens or if a turnover happens. The Bills aren't going to be able to try to time out it and get a punt, and the Chiefs don't have to worry about that. I mean, this is the best the Bills have looked against the Chiefs in a long time. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. Is this more of a Bills look good or Chiefs look bad situation? Still got more than half of football to go. We all know this game's going to be tied again at one point or close. It's far from over. The Bills Chiefs games are usually like an NBA game. You can shut it off and turn it back on at the end, and it's going to be close no matter what. Victor, yeah, showing some fight. You think you feel a little bit better than you did earlier? I think that's going to be a common theme of Bills fans' thoughts and opinions going into the half, no matter what happens on this drive. Is okay, we can reset. Maybe we're not as terrible as we thought we were. And the Bills beat down on the Panthers last week, but there wasn't a whole lot of good to come out of it. We've gotten to the point now where if we're not playing the best team in the league, we should beat them by 50, and it's unrealistic expectations. But when you're a team that's been in the conversation and hasn't won the Super Bowl, those expectations are going to only get greater and greater. Thornton's return to the 32. Dorian Williams on the tackle. Wow, NFL record. Cam Little, 68-yard field goal right before the half. Wow. Cam Little hit that historic one in the preseason that didn't count. Hits this one. He's got the record. Here we go. Kansas City Chiefs. Will they do what they usually do? 1st and 10. Bills only rush 3. It's an out wide throw. Tackled him inbounds. Kareem Hunt only about 5 to 6 yards. And the Bills are kind of going to play that soft coverage. So the Chiefs know. Quick throws over the middle. Those are going to be open. We're already at 1:10. The Chiefs only one timeout. Mahomes. Bills sent 3 again. They got a QB spy. Mahomes in trouble. Throws it over the middle. Wide open is Kelsey. Already in the field goal range at the 40 of Buffalo. Looks like whoever was covering him there slipped down, and Kelsey was wide open. And again, the Bills just running the system of defense. Why? Now they send a huge blitz. No one gets through. Mahomes to the end zone, wide open. Hollywood Brownies down at the 1, though. So the Chiefs are going to have to hurry up, and they're not going to call their timeout. Oh, and a defensive disaster from the Bills. Oh, my goodness. Why do you send an all-out blitz on that play? Who's running the ship? And now McDermott calls a timeout when the Chiefs get set with 20 seconds. Why? What is the point of calling the timeout there? Hollywood Brown, though. Wow. So, Sean McDermott and this defense. Yeah. That's, so Kansas City. The only thing is, if the Bills can get a stop, I don't know if Kansas City's going to settle for a field goal here. Even if they get stopped here, they'll probably call their timeout and still have multiple plays with 20 seconds to try to get in. They can stop the clock one more time. This feels like an automatic touchdown. Bills out of timeout, so if they get the ball back, they'll just knee it down. So the Bills are going to win the half, but they're only going to probably be up by 4. From the 1, handoff to Hunt, and he is stuffed. And the Chiefs call their timeout, 15 seconds. So there's the last timeout. Now the Chiefs are in a dangerous position. Now you kind of got to throw it. If you run it and don't get it, the clock might expire. You might not be able to get any points. So again, McDermott calling a timeout and saving time for the Chiefs. You absolutely had to make the right call there and be able to stop the run, which you knew was coming, and they did. So they get another stop here and keep them down in bounds. It's going to be tough for the Chiefs. 2nd and goal from the 1, 15 seconds to go. Yeah, I think they might pass. Kareem Hunt's still in the backfield, but you would think they do a quick pass or an out wide run, like handoff to get him out of bounds if need be. Worthy, let's see. No, it's going to be a throw. Mahomes to the end zone, incomplete. 9 seconds now, 3rd and goal. That's plenty of time to run another play. Can this Bills defense get a massive stop? Oh, this would be huge. Great coverage all the way around the field for the Bills. Great coverage. And shout out to that defensive line for getting through. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Game-deciding drive, some may say. Trips up wide. It's going to be a throw. Mahomes. Bills over the middle. Incomplete. No flag. And Kelsey, a little banged up after the play, pops right back up. What do you do if you're the Chiefs? 4th and goal from the 1. 6 seconds to go in the half. I think you got to kick the field goal. Take your points. Go in, 1-score game. Wow. 19-yard field goal for Harrison Butker. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. With 3 seconds left in the half, I think we can chalk this one up as halftime. 21-13. Whew. So 3 seconds left, and we'll come back from commercial break. What a stand by the Bills defense at the 1 yard line. What a stand. And again, if it wasn't in that time range where the Chiefs couldn't afford to run the ball, I'm sure Kareem Hunt would have got in on 3 chances, but they didn't want to risk it. And I don't blame them for not running it, but I don't know, with 13 seconds or 17 seconds, whatever they had after that first play, I probably would have ran it with Kareem Hunt up the middle. You still could have got another play off. A quick slant, and then if it's not there, throw it out of bounds. Wow. So we're coming back with 3 seconds left. You have to assume the Bills maybe try to return this, just take the clock down and go down, or even safer, fair catch it and knee it. Travis Kelsey went to the locker room, his mouth and "I love it" to the crowd as they boo him off the field. So Travis Kelsey unable to shake it off. He's got to go to the locker room with a apparent injury. That kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. Smart by the Chiefs. That'll move it up to the 35. Bishop absolutely leveled him on that last play. Kelsey's arm appeared injured, but he'll probably be fine. Bills in knee formation. Allen fakes the knee. Just kidding. Takes the knee, and we will head into halftime. 21-13, 8-point game. Chiefs get the ball in the second half, so they could go down and tie this game very easily. Holy moly. Elijah, a $50 donation again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shout out Elijah, holy moly. Elijah, I want to make sure you realize what you're doing here. I mean, these are $50 donations. Um, Elijah, if you could just confirm in the chat right now you are okay with these donations. I don't want to accept these if you're not okay with it. Shout out Elijah. Elijah, I need verbal in the chat. Just let me know if you're okay with these. Um, if you're not, I'm more than okay with sending them back. You don't got to do that, but I appreciate it if you're good with that. Um, Massive donations. W's from Victor in the chat, donating 3 earlier, and Elijah with the 50 bomb. W's in the chat. Holy moly. What a game, though. Shout out Elijah in the chat. I mean, that's 200 or some in the last few days, so that is an insane amount. And he's done it again. Oh my gosh. Elijah, what is going on here? Elijah with another $50. I mean, I don't even know how to react. These are these are big time donations from Elijah. Everybody for Elijah right now, type in Pepsi flavored eggnog into the chat. Everybody, Pepsi flavored eggnog in the chat. Oh my, and he's done it again. All right, Elijah, I gotta draw the line there. That's too much. Too much. I don't want to have to send 3 back. It's a lot of work. It's almost more work to send donations back than to set up the account in the first place. Shout out Elijah in the chat. Elijah, I need a verbal in the chat to say you're okay with these though. 'Cause I know we will use these funds in good ways. Of course, we're going to I think two Sabres games next week. So we'll try to get vlogs up. Elijah, stop, 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 stop. Wait. Oh my gosh. Another $50 donation. I mean, how do we even I I don't know if it's possible to send back 4. I I don't know, man. Elijah, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. That's more than enough. More than enough. Thank you for your generosity. That's a lot of money though, and we're good. Thank you so much. But please, if you have any more money that you want to donate, please, if you have that money, donate it to a children's hospital or the SPCA or someone that needs it a little bit more. I really appreciate it, Elijah. We're going to use it for in good funds and in good spirits, but that's too much, too much. Thank you so much, and again, if you and another 20 from Elijah. All right, thank you, Sawyer. I was just about to text him. All right, this is now known as the Elijah stream. um, we're gonna have to scrap the halftime show here and pay tribute to Elijah. Shout out Elijah. I mean, he's in here almost every stream, keeping us updated on Fredonia and Dunkirk football, giving us food combinations, and yeah, the Elijah. I mean, this might be known as the year of Elijah. But please, Elijah, if you're in the chat right now, leave a chat, just some text that like confirms you are okay with this and you have the money to do this. Because if you don't, and you're just kind of doing this out of support, but you don't have enough money to do this, please let me know in the chat and we'll shoot those back to you. I think there's a way to refund those, so might have to do so if Don's ready. But yeah, if but Elijah, let me know if you're in chat right now. Please type it out if these are legit or not. Um, and another 50 to Elijah, please. I don't know. Elijah with another $50 sticker. Uh, Jane, I don't know if there's a way to like turn off donations, but I feel like that might be what we have to do here. That's it says that's Elijah's 10th super chat. His fifth one was the first $50. He's donated He's donated $270 in the last 10. Oh, Prime, don't. Please, Prime, don't get him. No. Nah, Victor, $3 is way more than enough. And Elijah with 270 right now. I just, again, like I don't want to have to go through the process of sending him back. So if you, Elijah, again, if you can't afford these, please let us know and we'll send them back. No problems, no questions asked. Um, but if you can and you know what you're doing here, we appreciate it. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you again. Yeah, again, Elijah, I need confirmation of the chat, either one way or the other, if we should accept these or send them back. Elijah in the chat, Reese's peanut butter eggnog. Elijah, I need a yes or no here. Are we are you okay with these donations, or do you want the money sent back? We'll wait for an answer on that, but if that's legit, thank you so much. KM with the $5 donation as well. We got an absolute donation train here. Holy moly. KM says, switch it up to the Sabres. Of course, I'll be happy to talk Sabres. They're actually over 500. Could Doan be an assistant captain next year? Also, Elijah was hacked. He could be hacked, but judging by his last message about Reese's peanut butter eggnog, I think Elijah is not. Oh, somebody, oh man, another $50 from Elijah. I think at this point we're gonna have to refund him. I think we're gonna have to refund at least some of these. But Victor with another $2. Thank you, I appreciate it. But Kay, I'm back to yours really quick. Thanks for the $5. Um, Doan very well could be assistant captain. I think he's played out of his mind. Has been so much better than I expected, and big revenge game coming up on Tuesday for him. Doan's contract, you're gonna have to sign him probably long term the way he's looking, and the cap's going up quite a bit too. So if you want to sign him to a long term deal, I think he's done enough in the first couple of weeks to warrant it, and I certainly think he could be a assistant captain down the line. So I'm gonna say yes. I could see that guy being one. And Victor, thanks for the two again. Elijah says 3 bills Bud Light beer. Elijah, please let us know in the chat if you are these donations good, or I mean I need an answer. If you don't confirm these, I don't know if we can accept these ones. I and that is whew. Yeah, KM, I know, but that's a lot of money, and like I don't know. Elijah says yes. I'm a big Bills and Sabres fan. Hi. All right, Elijah. Well, I'll guarantee you we use that. Um, all of us on this channel are in the college stage, so the money will not be wasted. That's for sure. We'll use it to better this channel and to better our small expenses on the way to getting jobs. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone. Again, like I said before, if you guys donate 10 cents or $270, every little cent counts, and every little cent helps us out. And just you guys being in chat, um, I know it's been a tougher year on YouTube for us. I think we've been getting the views, but we've been trying to switch stuff up and the videos and all that. But Elijah says Sawyer stole his idea. And that over the last couple of days, that makes Elijah the biggest donator on BSC. I believe Coyote was the biggest donator with 200 something dollars. Um, he donated in one stream, I think 200 Canadian dollars to get Don his Sabres jersey, and then some smaller ones throughout the years. But I think Elijah just moved into first place. Kickoff. We're back underway. Thornton on the return, and he is brought down at the 30. I mean, that's a paycheck for some people for sure. Appreciate you guys. We're back. I'm gonna try to commentate. Gotta get back on track here, but thank you guys for that halftime crazy donation spew. Here we go. Mahomes, 1st and 10, and it's gonna be caught by Kelsey. 5-yard play. They're gonna try to get him involved. Zero completions, or one completion actually in the first half. It's the second of the game. 2nd and 5 now. So Kelsey obviously good to go. He's got the ball the first play of the half. Thank you, Tracy Wolfson, for the report. 2nd and 5. Mahomes fakes the handoff to wide receiver screen, and Worthy slips out of a tackle, and he's still going to end up losing a yard. Cole Bishop missed the tackle, but the Bills' defense did enough to keep Worthy behind the line of scrimmage, and Bishop was able to slip back and get the tackle. And Elijah with another 50. I speechless. I don't even know what else to say. Like Elijah, I don't know if Elijah won the lottery or what, but I appreciate it so much. Mahomes now 3rd and 7 over the middle, incomplete. Cole Bishop again. Great coverage from him all day long. And the Chiefs left a punt. Yeah, Victor. Cole Bishop made up for it there. And good job getting Mahomes outside the pocket. Dorian Williams on pursuit. Did not rough the passer, which is nice to see. And good coverage by Bishop. A little bit overthrown. Just enough. Now Ariza punts it. It's going to be fair caught at the 12-yard line by Shakir. Now the Bills have a chance to go up 2 scores on this drive. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. And I think we're going to see a lot of commercials in the second half. They skipped a couple of chances in the first half. I think they know everyone will be watching the end of this game. They're saving the commercial breaks. This has to be a scoring drive of some sort. Needs to open the gap. Yeah, I think for absolute certain, yeah, you gotta get points on this drive, even if it's a field goal. Just put yourself up 2 possessions really quick, and you know the Chiefs are going to be expecting a run up the middle on the first play. They're going to be pressed. They're going to be shading the wide receiver screen. That's going to be their halftime adjustment, right? Where is Shakir? We're going to press a guy up on him. Is Cook in the backfield? If he is, we're going to pinch in. The Bills have to recognize that and counter that. Okay, we'll bait a run or bait a wide receiver screen and use the other side of the field. The only issue with baiting the wide receiver screen is the Bills, again, don't have that other receiver to pair with Shakir. So even if they scheme something else for a different receiver where a good to decent receiver would be able to get open on a slant or something or a corner route. Yeah, Don's setting me up there. Not as I mean, if your comment was a little more sus, I wouldn't have read it, but that's pretty tame, you know. Cook hands it off up the middle. It's a gain of 2. And Elijah just donated 50 memberships. Um uh um I mean that's $150. Kincaid 6-yard gain. It's gonna be 3rd and 2. Um, um, 3rd and 1. Allen's gonna keep it himself, and he's got it. Stays on his feet past the 35. First down. I see that, Sawyer. Yeah, Sawyer. Yeah, Victor. I've gotten a word from Don that we cannot refund these, so that makes me a little more nervous here. 56. Ugh. Cook up the middle, down at the 40. Um, Purple, how's it going? Josh Allen's your GOAT. Love to see it. Welcome to the membership. Shout out Elijah. I mean, this is the year of Elijah. Allen over the middle, caught by Kincaid, but there's a flag in the secondary. See if it's on Kincaid. I think they're going to say it's on the Chiefs. Holding on the Chiefs, that'll be declined. First down, Kincaid around midfield. Yeah. Yeah. Can somebody count up how much money here Elijah has donated, including the members? I don't know how much the members are. Um, Cook on 1st and 10, up the middle for a yard. 50 gift memberships. Elijah says Cal and Don is Buffalo SportsCenter Hall of Fame. I mean, Elijah, I am putting you in the Hall of Fame on BSC viewers. I think we might have to start that. I maybe something in the background for, like, the viewers who have been here the longest. Elijah, I mean, you're going to be in there for sure. We're going to have to make something. Sawyer, of course, you'll be in it. Victor, of course, you'll be in it. Jason will be in it. We'll make something. Allen, 2nd and 10. He's got all day, but nobody's open. He's got to throw it out of bounds. Bring up 3rd and 10. KM, you will be in it for sure all day long. I'll have to go through. I'm just scrolling through the chat here. Prime will definitely be in it. We'll make something. Truth will be in it. Make a plaque of Elijah's donations with the money. Gonna do a wide receiver screen on 3rd and 10, and Shakir gets nothing. So the Bills will have to punt right at midfield. So the Bills' ineptness to pass the ball downfield cost them there. The Chiefs are going to have another chance. You cannot punt this one into the end zone. It has to be a good punt. Yeah, KM snubbed of a membership. Blitz, how's it going? Yeah, Elijah dropped a 50 membership. Oh, yeah, really good punt. They're going to be downed at the 50. Yeah, Victor, terrible play call. Yeah, Blitz, so you're randomly selected. I guess you don't even got to be in here to get them. So thank Elijah in the chat. W Elijah's. All right, Elijah, you gotta come up with a food combo now. Come up with a few, and me and Don we'll do a stream where we try out your food combos. Or whatever Elijah wants the next stream to be themed off of, or the next couple streams. Let me know, and I mean, Elijah has been folklore in the BSC chat. I remember the Bills preseason games. $50 memberships is $250. I mean, yeah, I don't think we can refund those. I mean, yeah. Hmm. Holy moly, Sawyer. So $850 in total. Yeah, KM, we're gonna have to get out our pens and paper and our scribes, maybe a typewriter. The story of Elijah. Yeah, Victor, I agree. Now you got to get another stop against the Chiefs. At least it was a good punt. They're pinned down at their own 10. And I'll commentate the game for now. We'll go back to talking about what's going on in the chat after this drive. But first play of the drive is going to be a run up the middle. Good defense. Only a gain of 1. Kareem Hunt on the carry. 2nd and 9. Jacksonville is just taking the lead over the Raiders. Second and 9. Mahomes way downfield. Incomplete. Great coverage by Maxwell Harrison. Worthy and Harrison one-on-one downfield, and Harrison was right there with him. Incomplete. 3rd and 9 now. Got to watch the middle of the field. You know, 3rd and 9. Bills don't get any pressure. Mahomes still in the pocket. He's got to throw it. Jump ball over the middle. It's caught by Kelsey at the 40. And down he goes there. Oh, my goodness. How do you leave him open in the middle of the field? A jump ball. It was a hanger. That's a ball that should be picked off. Just finds the middle of the zone. And bad coverage by the Bills. Ugh. Unreal. 2 guys in Mahomes' face, and he still gets the ball to him. How is nobody there? Hancock on coverage. Inexperienced guy. I get it, but yeah. So now a handoff up the middle. That one only a gain of 2. Elijah says Cal, Patrick Mahomes, and Kansas City Chiefs taking Buffalo Wings to Kansas City, Missouri after their loss. It's kind of a rivalry with the food, right? Kansas City barbecue, Buffalo Wings. Speaking of donations, I know there's a thing on X right now where if the Bills win this game, a lot of Chiefs fans have already committed to donating to Oshai Children's Hospital, and then there's a children's hospital in Kansas City that Bills fans are going to donate. So keep an eye on that. Mahomes scrambles, tip ball, incomplete. Now it'll be 3rd and 6. Bills defense getting them to 3rd down, but this is where they usually crumble. Another 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Can they stop him? Michael Hoyt, the guy to deflect the ball. Yeah, Sawyer. I mean, that's. And now, oh boy. The refs are going to talk about intentional grounding here. Let's see what they say. And they throw the flag. It'll be intentional grounding. Carl Cheffers, our boy. Yeah, Victor, 50-50 ball. Covering grass. And that'll be the loss it down, too. So now it'll be 3rd and really long. Same situation as they were in just a few moments ago. Good disguise on defense. 3rd and long. Come on, Bills defense. 3rd and 16. And now Andy Reid's going to challenge it because the ball was tipped. And the ball did get tipped. Is this a challengeable play? So now it's going to go back to 3rd and 7. They're not even going to take a look at it. I mean, we saw this was tipped right away, though, so I was confused why they did call it intentional grounding. Yeah. So they got Pereira now saying, the rules analyst saying it was tipped. But they're still talking to Andy Reid, so I don't know. And the crowd is booing, of course. I don't know if you can change that you can talk about it, but I don't know if you could take a look at it. Let's see. Here's the announcement. Wow. And they say it's unreviewable. So a very rare instant where the Chiefs get screwed over by the refs. But if I'm the Chiefs, I'd prefer a 3rd and 16 over the Bills defense over a 3rd and 7 because the Bills defense is worst on 3rd and longs. We'll see what happens on this play, but I'm sure somebody will get open downfield. And Mike Pereira has no idea, or Gene, whoever it is, I think it's Gene, has no idea if it's reviewable or not. And Mahomes in trouble. Down he goes at the 25. Greg Rousseau and Michael Hoyt in on the tackle. Great job by Joey Bosa around the edge. And then it bumped Mahomes up, and Hoyt and Rousseau on the sack. Here comes Matt Araiza to punt it. He's going to be catching this ball at his own 12-yard line. We'll see if he could send a nuke of a punt. That's what he's known for. And he does caught at the 15. It's going to be Shakir on the return. He goes around the edge, and he'll step out around the 25-yard line. And we'll head to commercial break. Bills 21, Chiefs 13. Let's get some points. Hoyt has been great. Yeah, he has been incredible so far in his 2 games. And it would be really nice to have a defensive lineman on this team that is consistently good. We haven't had that since Leonard Floyd. Every other lineman on this team disappears, then they reappear, then they disappear, then they reappear. Hoyt and Bosa, yeah. And I know a lot of people are hating on Brandon Beane this week for not giving this team enough help at wide receiver, but Bosa and Hoyt both brought in this year. And they have both, again, very small sample size with Hoyt, but they have both been crucial for this Bills team and saving the defense, because the quicker you get to a quarterback, the less the secondary, which is already weak on this team, has to do. Yeah, Reginald, even a field goal, just get this to a 2-possession game so we can kind of breathe a little bit, because I don't want to speak anything into existence, but we're pick 6 on a 2-point conversion away from a tie game. Elvis getting a camera shot. He's a great guy. Yeah, he's been around for a long time, and at least once a broadcast you'll see him on the home games. Always fun to see him. A staple in the Bills community. So here we go. Back from commercial break. Do the Bills start off with a first down run yet again? Allen motioning guys around. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Cook, and Cook bounces around. Now he bounces back inside. 3 yards on the carry. Nick Bolton on the tackle. Ashawn Genty, touchdown for the Raiders. That puts them ahead, I believe. Yep, up by 3. Yeah, Victor, I'll keep saying it too. Have to score here. If you want to beat the Chiefs, you got to go up multiple possessions because we know how easily they can march down the field and score when need be. Bills at their own 29. Cook in the backfield. Probably going to be a throw here. Shakir in motion. And they throw it over the middle. Shakir wide open underneath, and he's all the way to the 50 out of bounds. There we see. That's a little bit of a longer throw, right? They also had Cook open on a check down out wide, but that's a nice play. A little shallow cross. And that's exactly what Shakir should be used for. Those shallow routes and those screens. Nice slot receiver getting open, doing his job. And the defense completely not expecting those because of the amount of out wide and runs we've done. Allen, pump fake. He's going to throw. He's going to go deep. Nope. Now he takes the smart decision out wide to Coleman, a 11-yard pass. Coleman runs out of bounds. 1st down. And Elijah back with another donation, $50. Holy moly. Elijah saw the donations were going to leave the screen and said, nah, another one. Allen on 1st and 10, hands it off to Cook. He's got a little bit of space, 2-yard carry up the middle. Wow. Whew. Allen, plenty of time. He's going way deep, and he's got him! Elijah Moore, caught at the 10. The Bills have thrown a ball downfield over 5 yards. Elijah Moore and a beautiful set here. Poetic justice. A man named Elijah gets a catch. And now James Cook up the middle all the way to the 4. 2nd and goal. And Victor with another $3. Thank you, Victor. Allen, 2nd and goal. Curtis Samuel in motion. Cook up the middle! Down at the 1. Come on. We need an Elijah Moore touchdown. We need it for Elijah. They're going to do hurry up, though. It's going to be a long 1 yard for Allen to sneak. They push him, and he is in! Touchdown, Buffalo! Josh Allen, his 2nd QB sneak touchdown of the day. Spencer Brown spikes it into the hands of Allen. Allen spikes it after the play. He's hyped up. And Elijah says, Victor, I'm going to match that $3. Another $3 from donation from Elijah. Well, certainly the most donations we've ever had in a stream. Thank you guys so much. What a game so far, and we are only in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if the Bills can hang on to this one. Extra point, snap, hold, kick, up, and good. 28-13. A little pushing and shoving. Uh-oh. Little pushing and shoving, and a ref hat came off. Are they going to cut to commercial, or are we going to find out what happened after that extra point? Looked like Alec Anderson was front and center in it. But we're going to commercial. And Sawyer confirms that Elijah has now donated over $1,000 in the past 2 streams. Yeah, playing Haley Steinfeld as we go to break. Can this Bills defense hang on? Now you just need a couple more stops. Or a couple more touchdowns. That would definitely end this game. But now a 2-score game. Victor, I completely agree. Yep, tomorrow I got an online test I got to take, but I'll be feeling a little bit better thanks to the Bills, and thanks to you guys in the chat for your continued support. You know, I'll speak on behalf of all of us here at Buffalo Sports Center. Appreciate all the support this season so far, and I mean, we've been getting subs, and thank you guys for sticking around, watching these streams, leaving likes, commenting, keeping the chat going. It's always one of the biggest things. And with all the donations, thank you guys so much. We Elijah does it again. Yeah, I mean, I drew the line a while ago, but Elijah, I need you to stop because we can't refund these. And I know if there is like a dispute that gets filed, and then if we, you know, we'll choose to give you the money back for sure, but we have to pay the YouTube fees then, and we actually lose money on all that. So, Elijah, please stop. That'll make us the most happy right now. Thank you so much. You've done way more than enough this stream. Thank you. Thornton around the outside. He is out of bounds at the 34. Yeah, Don. I ain't gonna get political on here, but I'm sure if me and Don started a political YouTube channel, that one would be a little bit more spicy than what we do over here at BSC. But we'll avoid all politics on here because at the end of the day, the biggest thing in life is football and hockey. Yeah, I think you hit the jackpot at the Huff and Puff slot. Kansas City now, Mahomes looking downfield. Epinesa hits on the ball's loose. Michael Hoyt goes over it. They blew it dead. They're going to say incomplete. The arm was going forward. Let's take a look at that. I don't like that they blew that dead right away. They called it incomplete, and definitely incomplete. Yep. Sawyer, I've been there one too many times. One of the worst. 2nd and 10. Can the defensive line get through again? 2nd and 10. Epinesa on him again. Bosa trying to get there. Nobody's open for Mahomes, and he jumps it. Middle of the field, incomplete. Overthrew his guy. Rashee Rice, good coverage downfield by Cam Lewis. 3rd and 10. Yeah, Mahomes is frustrated right now. Not Vanessa crushed him after the play, but Mahomes was knew that one was coming. He stopped near the sideline and chucked up a heave, so you knew you were going to get crushed. 3rd and 10. This is where the Bills defense tends to break down. 3rd and long. Mahomes wide open. Hollywood Brown along the sidelines. 1st down. Yep. Every time. Yeah, I don't think Taylor Swift is there. I haven't seen her. Elijah asked Sawyer if he's had caramel apples before. It's going to be an out wide throw to Juju. Good job by Cam Lewis to knock him out of bounds. Gain of 2. And that very well could end the 3rd quarter. 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if the Chiefs want to run a play. They do not. So that'll be the end of the 3rd. Chiefs are marching down. So back to commercial we go. End of the 3rd. Bills up 2 scores, but the Chiefs could, if they get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, they are right back in this game. Yeah, defense falling asleep again. It's just those 3rd and longs. They don't scheme well. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but Cole Bishop was in the closest zone to that ball, and it just got by whoever was in the flat on the Hollywood Brown throw. Jamarcus Ingram, Donald says. All right. So that would check out Jamarcus Ingram, somebody featured on Hard Knocks, but has had a rough go at it as a Bill. Had a couple nice interceptions in years prior, but feel good story. Hasn't had too many big time plays this season. So big time drive. I think we all might have to eat caramel apples next stream. Harrison has been solid, yes. Especially on that deep ball against Rashee Rice on that 2nd and 10. I think I heard Mr. Brightside playing as we return back from break. 2nd and 8. Chiefs now moving right to left. Mahomes in the pocket. Bosa all over him. Brings him down. Down at the 40. Joey Bosa. Elijah with another $5, powering Joey Bosa to that sack. And the Chiefs' offensive lineman, it is Taylor, is down. So that will pause the game momentarily. A 3rd and 17 upcoming. Prime, welcome in here. Dropping the Sabres. And while we have a break in action, let's talk about the Sabres, right? 2 big games this week. Mammoth on Tuesday. Don will be on the call. I'll be at the game. And I'll try to vlog that one. And then Thursday against the Blues, Throwback Thursday, I will also be at that game. So expect 2 different vlogs next week for the Sabres, at least one. Definitely the Thursday game. I'll try to vlog the Tuesday one. Sawyer, yeah, we could definitely do a podcast. Just let me know. Let me know what week you want to be on it. I think we're gonna probably start doing the podcast not every week anymore, but like when big things happen, we'll get the podcast in. So let me know, Sawyer. Maybe after this week, if the Sabres win a couple games, if they win both those games or one of those games, they're hanging in the playoff race. We'll have you on and we can talk Sabres, talk Bills, and just kind of whatever. Right, the podcast is whatever we want to talk. But I think that's a good one, right? Because it won't be live, and then we can just kind of talk about whatever, and it'll have everyone on it. Elijah says, "Go Sabres and go Mammoth." Elijah, your big game's coming up Tuesday, and then the week after, Sabres head to Utah. So both meetings will take place in this month. All right, Sawyer. Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, next weekend might be the week. Then get Elijah on the podcast. Elijah, you want to be on the podcast? Let me know, Elijah. We'll have you on the podcast. Buffalo Bandits emoji. Jaden, get on that. I'll add. I think we should have unlocked a new emoji. So if that's the case, Elijah's calling for it. Buffalo Bandits emoji. All right, Jaden will be on that for you. We'll get you that Bandits emoji. Third and 17. Taylor, his ankle's wrapped. He's out for now. So Chiefs offensive line hasn't been good all day. Now they're down a starter. Third and 17. This is where the Bills get beat. Mahomes all day throwing it deep again. Incomplete. Mahomes underthrew the comeback route. It was Worthy diving back for the ball, but it was short. And now 4th and 17, kind of in no man's land. Let's see what the Chiefs do here. High school football up to, oh no. Michael Hoyt injured on the play, not putting any weight on his right foot. Oh no. That is not good at all. And the Chiefs are going to look to go for this 4th and 17. Hopefully Hoyt just twisted his ankle or something, but he wasn't putting any weight on it. Maybe he got stepped on. Bills cannot afford that, but I will say Epinesa and Rousseau have them playing much better as of late as well. Bills defense kind of in disarray. They're scrambling around. The Chiefs are going for it. 4th and 17. It's blown dead. No play. Mahomes was going deep to double coverage anyway. Who called the timeout? Buffalo called the timeout. Sean McDermott, another defensive timeout. I mean, Jaden, we may have to add an eggnog emoji. That would be my vote. All right, 4th and 17. Take 2. Eggnog cookies. 4th and 17. Bosa got through, but now Mahomes has all day throws. Wide open is Rashee Rice. Out of bounds at the 10. This Bills defense is absolutely inept at 3rd and 4th and longs every time. Tre'Davious White on the coverage, and he's just wide open the whole play. Unreal. How do you not send pressure? That is terrible defense. Why did Bosa stop? Oh my gosh. Terrible defense. And another terrible timeout by McDermott. Now a handoff to Hunt up the middle. Gain of 4. He's getting pushed forward after the play, but I think it's still going to be a gain of 4. 2nd down. Oh my goodness. How do you allow that? I mean, 4th and 17, and you bring no pressure. Bosa just stops rushing. I don't know what he was doing. He was unblocked. Buffalo Bulls emoji. Good idea, Elijah. Could be another one. Second and 6. Mahomes looks, scrambles, and he's brought down a yard short of the 1st down. 3rd and 1 from the 2. Yeah, Tre'Davious White having a bad year, and I don't understand what that defensive play call is, though. Why are we blitzing from one side only? It's just terrible. We got a spread to cover, ladies and gentlemen. A spread to cover. 3rd and 1. Noah Gray in the backfield. You got to assume it's a handoff. It is to Kareem Hunt, and he is stuffed. Gain of nothing. Still at the 2. Now it's 4th and 1. If the Chiefs went for it 4th and 17, they're going to go for it here. Can the Bills defense get another big stop? Deonte Walker on the tackle. Here we go. Now you probably got to throw it here. 1 yard, 4th and 1. They don't even got to get in the end zone. They just need literally a yard. Rashee Rice in motion. It's a snap. They do hand it off, and it's wide open up the middle. Touchdown. Kareem Hunt, touchdown. And now the Chiefs will probably go for 2. Yep, Elijah says peanut butter and jelly chicken wings. I know they do make those. Some people like those. To make it a 7-point game. A huge 2-point attempt. Can the Bills defense stop it? Oh my goodness. And now if they get this, it's a 7-point game and the Bills wasted a timeout on a 4th and 17 where they didn't even get a stop. And we know the Chiefs are one of the best teams for 2. Snap. Mahomes looks to throw. Over the middle. It's caught. Kelsey. And we got ourselves a 7-point game. Yep. That's the Bills defense I remember. Wow. 7-point game. Bills need some points next drive. Again, this Chiefs team, they just so easily go down the field. Just so easily. I mean, that is just incredible how this is a 7-point game. How is this a 7-point game? 4th and 17. And it wasn't a lucky play. He was wide open. This defense is ridiculous. Out of a timeout. In other news, the other game going on right now, Las Vegas and Jacksonville. Las Vegas up 3, but Jacksonville has the ball at midfield, so they're going to look to at least tie that to send it to overtime. Oh my goodness. I mean, how in the world does that defense allow that? Well, the offense just got to keep it going. Still in a good spot, but that is just pure ineptness. Wakes you right up, Victor. Yeah, shower drive. And there we go. We do have the new emotes now. Elijah spoke. We delivered. The UB Bulls and the Buffalo Bandits emotes are now in chat for the members. And if you guys are not members after tonight, you guys are pretty unlucky because Elijah donated 50 memberships today. The UB emote, I'll say if the UB Bulls make the MAC championship, I'm down to stream that game. So we might be able to use that there. But here we go again. I mean, you can't tell me we don't want to keep this game close for the spread. There's no chance that's legit that you allow a team to get a 4th and 17 off a timeout. Yeah, college basketball starts tomorrow. Elijah wants the Bison's emote. See if we have another spot for that. It's a good idea. Ray Davis now pushed forward, and he's going to go all the way to the 30. Or the 31. He's got to the 31 almost every time now. Sawyer says, mid-MAC team. If you're talking about basketball, I got you. If you're talking about football, I think they got a chance in football. But yeah, basketball, I think I agree with you, mid-MAC. Which is not great, but I don't know if we'll ever see UB where they were a couple years ago. Now it's like 7 or 8 years ago. Allen, they're going to throw it on first down. He pump fakes twice, doesn't like anything. Now he's going to take it himself after 3 pump fakes and slides down. He gets hit in the head. No flag. Brushed on the head, but you'd think Mahomes would get that call. Anyway, 2nd and 4. Good play by Allen. Pump faked enough to scramble. Let's see here. Slid down. Yeah. Allen with a little bit of a flop. He slapped his head, but yeah. So yeah, Allen and Mahomes now 1 flop apiece today. Hand off to Cook on 2nd down. He gets around the edge, and he is just short of the 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. And at the 41-yard line, you got to think this is 4-down territory for the Bills, as crazy as that sounds. If you cannot get a yard, you got to go for it and keep this going. You can't afford to give the Chiefs the ball back. They're going to try to sneak. It's a long one again. Allen stuffed. 2nd attempt. He's over the line. 1st down. Wow. There we go. Bison's emote in the chat as well. Shout out Elijah. Elijah says, go Bucks, beat the Patriots. I hope so. But yeah, Patriots won today against the Falcons. Close game. 1st and 10. Now you got to expect a run, and they do to James Cook. James Cook finds a hole. He goes outside, and he's around the edge. 1st down, gain of 14. And James Cook takes a seat on the Chiefs bench for about a second, pops right back up. 1st down. Shavers almost held his guy. Let's see the replay. Oh, a little bit of a hold, like the outside. There we go. Truth showing off the emotes. All the Buffalo teams now. Division 1 up. 1st and 10, and they're calling an audible. 9 minutes left in the game. Allen hands it off to Cook, up the middle, no gain. And this is where it gets dangerous because they know that you're just going to keep running up the middle. You're going to need a chunk play. You can't just keep running it like this. 2nd and 10. This is a big play. Achilles injury for Hoyt. Oh, no. He's out for the remainder of the game, but he's staying on the bench talking to teammates. So maybe it's just a sprain. Allen immediately rushed, and he's tabletop tackled at the 49, sacked by the Chiefs. And you got to have a check down there. Nothing. 3rd and 14 now. And the Bills, you would think they try to get maybe half of it to get in a long field goal range for Prater. But, oh, yep, again, long developing routes. Joe Brady has nothing open. Yeah, and the Achilles is if you sprain it, you're out a couple weeks, and it does hurt really bad where that could be a genuine reaction. So maybe it's not completely torn. Allen drops back. He's got room. Chris all over him, and Allen sacked. And he's mad about that. Another sack, and the Bills got to punt it away. Wow. Chris Jones all over him. And then Chanel gets to him. Elijah says Reese's peanut butter emoji. All right, if we got another emoji spot, we'll have to do it. Reese's peanut butter emoji. And there we go. Tony Romo has said it. Here we go, Jim. Here comes the punt. It's got to be a good one for the Bills. Fair caught at the 14. Well, Kansas City's got a prime opportunity to tie the game. Unbelievable. Terrible play calling in the second half by the Bills. Getting out-coached yet again to this Chiefs team. They're trying not to lose, and it might make them lose instead of going for a win. We have breaking news. Kyle Larson has won the NASCAR championship. The defense hasn't ever had the moment. Has to be now. So many chances. Yeah. 4th and 17. Again, Kansas City just, why did the Bills stop running Cook? Well, they ran him on that last set of downs. They ran him on 1st down. He got no yards, so they had to pivot to the throw. Hoyt was balling. Yeah. Too much games. How's it going? Yeah, gotta hope it's not something super major. The Achilles, that could be a year-long injury. That could be a couple weeks. And again, if it's a minor Achilles injury, that still could make you not want to put weight on that thing for a couple days. So we won't know until tests are done. We'll know in a couple days. But the fact that he's still on the bench, still in pads, maybe a good sign. Yeah, exactly. Too much games. Definitely didn't look good, but we've seen guys, hobble off and then they're back the next week. I'm not saying he's going to be back next week, but I'm hoping that's him staying on the sidelines is a sign that he'll be only out a little bit. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Mahomes. How are we in this situation as Jacksonville and Las Vegas go to overtime? It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Kareem Hunt breaks a few tackles, barrels through another guy. That's an 8-yard gain. Can't tackle. Elijah wants a Buffalo Braves emoji. That's another good idea. As Truth uses the paper bag emoji, one of my favorites. Second and 2. Gonna be another handoff to Hunt around the outside, and that time the Bills do a good job tackling. Cam Lewis and Harrison on the tackle, no gain. 3rd and 2. But there's a flag. Holding on the offense. It'll be a 10-yard penalty, but if you're the Chiefs, I think you'd rather take a 2nd and 11 than a 3rd and 1. Definitely a hold. Good call. Rousseau got pulled off the edge. Patrick Mahomes sacked by Optimus Prime. Bills are going to need a guy like Optimus Prime if we keep dealing with all these injuries, because that's one of the only people that probably wouldn't get injured. Here we go. 2nd and 12 now. Clock still moving. 5:40. It's going to be a throw. Mahomes has time. Epinesa gets a hand on it, but Kelsey's wide open, and he sprawls forward for a 1st down. Hancock on the coverage, and you got to get him out of the game. That's twice now. He's just left this guy wide open. And I think this is going to be a drive where the Bills just let the Chiefs methodically go down, score, and then they're going to try to do it on offense. But this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. 1st and 10, 5 minutes now to go. At the 23. It's going to be a handoff, and that time, nowhere to go up the middle. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Rashard Smith on the carry. Interesting play call by the Chiefs, and now they have an offensive lineman with an ankle injury. So left guard. And he doesn't want to come out of the game. He's hobbling around in the huddle, but they stopped the play clock, and yeah, now they're going to sub him out. Okay. Yeah, Kelsey's just always getting open. I don't understand it. Yeah, Chiefs offensive line spinning out. 2nd and 10. The clock is still stopped. Now it gets going. 2nd and 10. And it's blown dead before the play. Do not tell me McDermott called another timeout. Oh my. McDermott wastes another defensive timeout. Every single timeout has been used on the defensive side of the ball. That leaves the Bills with 1 timeout left. You know they are going to get the ball back. You know they're going to get the ball back, needing a score. They're not going to have enough time. They're not going to have the timeouts. Travis Kelce. So we're at commercial. Oh, but they're already getting ready to play in the other box. So I don't know what CBS is doing here. Now we're back. Oh no, it's just the replay. Okay. Oh, McDermott, what are we doing? 1 timeout, and here we go. Last time they called timeout, they got a 40-yard play down the field. 2nd and 10. It's going to be a wide receiver screen. Oh, it bounces off an offensive lineman's helmet and down to the ground. Could have been a big play either way. We'll take the incompletion. 3rd and 10. And now, hypothetically, if the Bills get a stop, the Chiefs would probably punt it. Hit a Chiefs offensive lineman in the head. Wow. Here we go. 3rd down. Can the defense get a stop? 3rd and 10. The left guard is back in for the Chiefs after missing just one play. McDermott's timeout gave him enough time. 3rd and 10. Chiefs play clock down to 0. They just get it off. Bills send a blitz, but nobody gets home. And now a heave downfield. Deep ball. Harrison picked off. Maxwell Harrison. His first interception comes off Patrick Mahomes on an absolute heave down the field. Joey Bosa with the pressure. And this game is far from over. Basically an arm punt from Mahomes, but a great job by Bosa. Harrison, and if Harrison didn't pick it off, I think Cole Bishop was there waiting for it. What a play. The Bills' first round pick in his 2nd career game picks off Patrick Mahomes, the best of the best. And now the Bills are probably a score away from a win, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball off, and they're going to punt it away at their own 33. First play, run up the middle. Everyone knows it's coming. Cook, 2-yard gain. See if the Chiefs start using their timeouts. They're not gonna. So the Bills will take that whole play clock. Second and 8. You know the Chiefs are going to be bringing pressure. Yep, they're showing it. Allen back to throw. Throws it out wide to Kincaid. He sticks his head down, and he's got the first down. And they'll keep the clock moving. Big time play. Good play call from Joe Brady. Great play call. You know you got to do something underneath. Got to keep the clock moving. A nice little fade route in the flat. All right, 3 minutes to go. Now you know a handoff to Cook is coming. It's without a doubt. The Chiefs bringing their safeties down. You could air one out if you wanted to here and probably have them, but it's probably too risky. Yep, Cook up the middle, and that's going to be a 5-yard gain. That's got to be frustrating if you're the Chiefs. You know that's coming, and you still can't stop it. 6-yard gain. Now Elijah with another 20. Holy moly, Elijah, please. We're good. We're good. That's too much. Spencer Brown went crazy against Chris Jones on that run, and the Chiefs will use their first timeout on that play. All right. 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. With 2:45 to go in this game, the Chiefs have 2 timeouts. The Bills, 2 first downs away, most likely, from being able to need us out. 2nd and 4. You know it's going to be a run again to the outside. That's what it is. Cook up the middle, and he's stuffed. Gain of maybe 1 or 2. McDuffie on the tackle, and there's a timeout. That's their 2nd timeout. Third and 3. Now, what do you do if you're the Bills? Is this 4 down territory? Because if you punt this ball back, the Chiefs are scoring a touchdown and tying it, or possibly going for 2 and winning it. If you're the Bills, right now, I think this is 4 down territory. You got to go for the win right now. You got 2 plays to get 3 yards and win the game. Yeah, you could do a read option. Here we go. Play clock's moving. 2:39 to go in the game. The Chiefs have 1 timeout left. 3rd and 3. What do you do? It's the most bunched up formation of all time. Curtis Samuel's even in the backfield. Motions out wide. It's going to be a throw. Cook's open. He catches it. He goes down inbounds. First down, Bills. Timeout, Chiefs. Joe Brady, another good play call. Would you look at that? Great play. Joe Brady finally flipping the playbook over to the next page. That's the exact play that we were talking about that we wanted them to do on 4th down. Exactly, smooth gaming, exactly. So with 2:31 to go, the 2-minute warning is still a factor. So one more first down would end the game. If not, you're going to leave the Chiefs with enough time. They've done it before, but they don't have any timeouts. Wow, if you could. Oh, I think the Jaguars just won it against the Raiders. Man, if you could knock the Chiefs down to 5-4 with the tiebreaker on them, that would be big. Allen, hand off to Cook, up the middle for 2. Blows the whistle, and the Bills will let that take down to the 2-minute warning. Elijah with another $2 donation. Holy moly. I mean, Jaden, we might have to use the portions here on Dragons. I don't know. Just kidding. So commercial break. When we come back, the Bills will have a 2nd and 8. They'll be able to chew a minute and 20 off the clock just on knee downs if they wanted, which would leave the Chiefs with 40 seconds after a punt, which is way too much time. And Victor matches Elijah's $2 donation. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for all the support this stream. The Bills still not out of the woods yet. But they can see the opening. They're through the corn maze. They could see the finish line. All they got to do is cross it. Still commercials. They're milking these commercials. Peanut butter and jelly chicken wings. Might have to, Elijah, is that what you want us to try on stream? I'll have to order some next stream. We'll have to do it. Second and 9. 2-minute warning. The Bills are going to run it with Cook. It's going to be a yard. Now he's getting pushed. Pushed forward, still moving. Now they blow it dead. So they're only going to give him about 2 yards. Nick Wright is not a happy camper right now. Find a way to downplay Buffalo tomorrow. The game's not over yet either, though, so I'm not going to say anything about Nick Wright just yet. 3rd and 7. I think the Bills are going to take this all the way down and then call their timeout, their final timeout. Third and 7. I mean, what do we do here? You can't go incomplete. But if you run it up the middle, you're going to give the Chiefs a lot of time. We're saying 23 to 27 seconds, and that leaves the refs in jeopardy of the game, right? That's 1 to 2 deep pass interference calls away from tie game. Jim Nantz says you got to run it, and I honestly don't disagree. You just don't have the receivers this year to throw it right here. What do you guys think in the chat right now? Run or pass before this play happens? What would you do if you were Joe Brady? It'd be very deep field goal range, Victor. 35, that would, yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. Allen hands it off to Cook, and he's down at the 2-yard gain. And they're going to try the field goal. Okay. Prater for the win. If he misses this field goal, though, oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Matt Prater for the win to ice the game. He was on the injury report with a calf injury. Oh, that's a deep one. Snap, hold, kick, up, and off the upright and no good. Had plenty of distance. Off the left upright and no good. Oh my goodness. The doink heard round the world. And here we go. The Chiefs. From their own 42 have 22 seconds. So much for 13. How about 22? Mahomes rolling out. He's got plenty of time. Near the sidelines, caught out of bounds at the 40. Worthy at the Buffalo 41, and they're going to tie this game. They're going to tie this game. This is unreal. They got out of bounds too. 17 seconds. That only took 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. Here we go. From the 40. You know it's a pass. You don't got to worry about that. Can the Bills' defensive line get pressure? That's the question. Joey Bosa on him. It's a heave up, out of bounds. 11 seconds now. Good play there. Again, though, you're a deep pass interference call away from a tie game. Yeah, new 13-second game. Yeah, good pressure by Bosa. Crushed Mahomes. 2nd and 10. This crowd's got to get loud. This is just unreal. The Bills have not been able to finish this one out yet. The defense has to come up big. And against any other team, I'm not too worried, but the Chiefs could so easily score this. Low snap. Mahomes gets it. Pressured on Mahomes, but he's still got time. He's going end zone. And it is incomplete. With 3 seconds to go, it was deflected in the end zone. And now it's going to be a Hail Mary. 3rd and 10. They still got time for one more play. Good coverage by Cole Bishop. Great coverage. And Jamarcus Ingram in on it as well. Last play of the game. Here we go. Hype in the chat. Here it is. Oh, boy. None of us needed this stress. 3rd and 10. 3 seconds to go from the Chiefs. From the Bills 40. The Bills showing pressure. You got to think they drop off a lot of it. No, they send a bunch. They're trying to pressure him. Mahomes heaves it to the end zone. It's short and falls to the ground. Ball game. The Chiefs drop to 5-4. The Bills move up to 6-2. And after 2 straight losses, the Bills have 2 straight wins. 6-2. The Buffalo Bills still second in the AFC East. But in what some may say is game of the year, I tell you to look back to week 1, Bills-Ravens. I don't know if this one topped it. It almost did. Wow. Holy moly. Ladies and gentlemen, holy moly. You're going to do a live Instagram and YouTube right now. Holy moly, guys. What a game. What a game that was. Post-game report live on Instagram and YouTube. Josh Allen post-game. Feeling good. I mean, how the heck do the Bills make that a close game at the end of the game? I don't understand. Some questionable play calling for sure, but what a freaking win. Welcome everyone on Instagram. We had a banger stream on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining this one. And now they're playing at Mr. Brightside. Maxwell Harrison, yeah, played absolutely out of his mind. Absolutely out of his mind. Allen says 1-0 as always. Maxwell Harrison in the background. Absolutely goobin'. But wow, what a game. What a game. That is exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. And the Bills find a way. Find a way to win it. Thank you guys on YouTube. I think we're going to end the YouTube stream now. We'll stay live on Instagram for a little bit after this game. Shout out everyone on YouTube. Victor, Elijah, Massive Day, Truth, Smooth Gaming, Sawyer. Thank you guys so much. Absolute W, guys, on YouTube. KM, thank you for showing up as well. Truth. Yeah, no Tyler Bass today, and I don't know. Prater had the distance, but hit the post, unfortunately, but we'll certainly take that. Wow, what a game, what a game. I don't really